Hello guys, assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. Today's video is going to be all about how we planned our honeymoon. I hope to give you guys as much detail as possible, however, I know I'm going to end up missing some bits out, so please do check the description bar of this video because all the information that you want and need and links and everything else will be in there. So for our honeymoon, my husband and I, we went to 2 different countries. We chose to go to Bali as the main part of our honeymoon, and if you're new here you wouldn't have seen the vlogs. If you're a long time subscriber, you would have seen the vlogs and you would have seen how, hopefully, how absolutely beautiful Bali is. When it came to researching different destinations for the honeymoon, there was a few in mind. Of course, like we looked at Bora Bora and we looked at the Maldives, and as beautiful and as stunning as they are, we chose not to go for them for 2 reasons. The first reason is because of money. They're both quite luxurious honeymoon destinations, and we're a very young couple. We were 23 when we got married. I'm 24 now, but you know, we don't have loads and loads of money. We don't have the bank of mum and dad to go to you know, fund a honeymoon for us. But we wanted to go to a place where we could comfortably afford to be in and not feel guilty or not have to borrow money to go to, you know. I want to be as open and as honest as I can. I know sometimes it's a bit awkward to talk about money, but I'm just being honest with you. We didn't want to go to somewhere where we felt gosh, this is way above our price range and you know, should we be doing this? We wanted to really enjoy our honeymoon without feeling bad. At the same time, the second reason why was because as beautiful and as stunning as it looks, there doesn't seem to be as much to see there, and I could be wrong. If you guys have been, then definitely let me know down below. And based on the research I've done, based on YouTube videos I watch and on Instagram, a place that had been on my list for the longest time was Bali, and I knew it was super far. I knew it was somewhere where I wanted to go to when I got married, inshallah. And one of the huge appeals of Bali is that it's quite an affordable destination. The most expensive thing really about getting there is the tickets and the plane journey, and you have to bear in mind that it's super far. We went to Dubai for the first 2 days of our honeymoon, and then we went to Bali for 5 nights and 6 days. We flew from Edinburgh to Dubai, and that was about 7 hours, and then we spent 2 days in Dubai, which was really lovely, and then we had a 9-hour flight to Bali, Indonesia, and that was one of the longest days and journeys ever. Honestly, you do have to bear that in mind if you're looking at those destinations, especially Indonesia. It is far, but would I go again? Yes, I would definitely go again. And is it worth the journey? 100% it is. Honestly, one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life, and I love the fact that we went there. By the way, we didn't have our honeymoon straight after our wedding. We had our honeymoon in the Easter holidays because I'm a primary school teacher, so we got married at the very beginning of the Christmas holidays. In the half terms, we thought about having it in February half term, but then we thought no, it's too short. We wanted to have time. And so straight as soon as Easter holidays started, we had our honeymoon basically. But yeah, I just thought I would go through some questions that you guys asked, and then if I miss anything out, let me know and I'll put them in the comments down below. So the first question was, what was your main priority? Kind of answered this already, but I wanted to go somewhere new, somewhere brand new that neither of us had been to, a whole different culture, somewhere we can experience different things and different people, somewhere where we had the mixture of being able to relax and also being able to eat well and also being able to see things that you don't get to see in your typical day-to-day. Oh my gosh, it was all about the food for Dubai. We ate so well there, probably too well to be honest with you, because then in the Bali portion of things, the double shim was definitely prominent, but it's really hard not to eat really well in Dubai because everything's halal. So yeah, Dubai really for us was mainly about the food, And to be honest with you, we weren't the most organised when it came to Dubai. We didn't have a plan as such. We've both been to Dubai before. I've been as a child, like when I was 10 years old, and Wakara's been a couple of times with friends and with family. So it wasn't like totally new for us. And we had a few things, like we made a list literally on our notes on our phones of things that we might want to do. But we knew we were there for 2 days, and we also then knew that it was just kind of like a very short trip, so we don't want to squeeze too much in. I think that's the thing about the honeymoon, is you want to make sure that you're not overloading your schedule. You don't want to be doing like so much that you're feeling absolutely exhausted. And when you go to a new country and you are walking around, you are exploring, you do get tired. So you have to try and find that balance, I think. We did want to go up to Burj Khalifa, but the only tickets that were left that day were the dinner time tickets, and they were like £300 for both of us, and we were just like, no, that's ridiculous. So we didn't do that. We did go to Global Village, which was a really nice experience, and we went to Miracle Gardens as well. Those are all in my vlog, so if you want to check them out and see what we did, you can definitely go and watch those vlogs. But yeah, we didn't do too much, and I enjoyed that. And the other thing about Dubai was we actually ended up staying in an Airbnb, and I left all the booking to Wakar, and he said, well, at the end of the day, when we're in Dubai, we're going to be out most of the day. We're going to be, you know, enjoying the beach, going to this place, going to that place, eating out. So it's not really about the hotel or where we're staying. And I agreed with him. Like, I would rather spend money on experiences than the luxury side of things. Now, that's obviously very, very subjective. And for a lot of people, they would think the total opposite. They think we've saved up for so long for this honeymoon, and that's fine. So many couples who have different priorities. Both of us, it was like we'd rather be spending money on food and things to do than the place we're staying in. Obviously, that's not to say that we wanted to stay in like the most dumpiest, cheapest place you could get. Actually, we stayed in a really nice apartment on JBL Walk, which was really lovely and really central too. So literally, we came out of the apartment building and literally walked 5 steps, and then there was the beach. With Bali, in terms of accommodation, we were both really clear that we wanted villas, because that's the main thing you see when you watch people's vlogs, when you see, you know, what they've been doing. You see the most gorgeous private villas, and there are so many villas in Bali to choose from, all over Bali as well, no matter where you stay, whether it's Ubud, whether it's Seminyak, and they're very private, they're very clean, and usually they come with a swimming pool. Now, as a Muslim couple and as a hijab wearing lady, you know, that was a priority for me, because it's something that I have never had before in my life, and it's something that I'm not going to have very often, my own private pool. I wanted to experience that, and it was so worth like having that experience within Bali. And like for 5 nights we had our own villa. We didn't stay in the same place though, but we had our own villa and we had our own pool, and it was very private and it was so nice, and we really made the most of it. That was like kind of as luxurious as we got, which is pretty luxurious for me anyway, for my lifestyle. So yeah, we prioritized with our accommodation in Bali rather than Dubai. So let me just pause for a second. So the first place we stayed in, we went to Bali, was in Seminyak, which is in the city, but we stayed in the jungle area. It's actually called the jungle area, so it's a little bit out of the city. Like, I remember one of the taxi drivers was like grumbling because he was like, right, I didn't know you were staying this far away. So we were slightly staying on the outskirts, which meant that we were close enough to the city to like be able to get into the main part of Seminyak and experience the city life. But we also had some space, and we had enough space to be able to have our own villa as well. And that villa we stayed in for 2 nights. I love that villa so much because the bathroom was really nice. I had a double sink in it, and the pool in that villa was my favourite. And Seminyak has got the least bugs from the places that we went to. So if you are somebody who is scared of bugs, you're scared of like little lizards, that sort of thing, that is something to be aware of for sure. I don't like creepy crawlies, I don't like bugs, I don't like lizards, but I'm not terrified of them. So Seminyak had the least bugs, the least creepy crawlies. The pool was so clean, so clean. It had a waterfall as well, and yeah, I really enjoyed Seminyak. The food in Seminyak was It was okay. Like, it was a lot of like sort of fast food, and McDonald's is halal in Bali, by the way, so that's a really cool thing. Like, we had quite a lot of McDonald's, and the taxi as well was like quite affordable. The taxis were really affordable, and they were quite easy to get from that villa into the main part of the city and back again. It's nice to stay in Samyang for maybe like 1 or 2 days, because you get a taste of the city life and you see a lot of locals, and you kind of just see like the day-to-day of like living in Bali. You see like school kids, see loads of mopeds, that sort of thing. And on our 3rd day, or like the 3rd morning, we went to Ubud, which is like a very well-known part of Bali. That is literally what I would describe as like the forest area. So like, we're in the city area here, and then we went to Ubud. And the way we planned this whole thing was, we actually got a map from Google Maps of Bali. We screenshotted the map, I put it on my laptop, and then we put it on the app called OneNote. And then on that map, we started annotating, like in the weeks before our honeymoon, the things that we wanted to see and potentially do. So we had like a couple of things that we definitely wanted to do, and then 2 or 3 things that maybe, like, you know, if we had a chance to do, we would do them, and if not, then, you know, that wasn't in the cards for us. And I think that was a really good way of planning it, because when you're going to a whole different country, you're not familiar with it, you know. The people of Bali, by the way, are so lovely. Like, they would be very happy to help and very willing to help, but at the same time, it is good to have some sort of planning done in place and put in place before you go. So we had a rough idea of what we wanted to do each day, and I had like a picture of the map on both our phones. So then the 3rd day we went to Ubud, and like I said, Ubud is extremely jungly. So the villa in Ubud, first of all, the villa was really nice. It was a 2-bedroom villa this time. The pool was really nice as well. Again, very clean. They had flowers on the bed. It was very lovely environment. However, to get to this villa, the villa that we stayed in for the 3rd, 4th and 5th night, we stayed there for 3 nights, you couldn't actually go there by car. So the car could only go so far, and then you had to either walk down the path, or you had to jump on a moped. And this is something that I had heard about with Bali, but I had not realised like how common it would be. Mopeds are everywhere, especially in Ubud. And the amount of Australian tourists who will literally just hire their own moped, I think it's very cheap. Like, I want to say like $5 a day or something to hire a moped. It was insane. So like, there was loads of tourists on mopeds, like loads of single women just like zooming about on their bikes. It was really cool, because you can see how safe and comfortable they felt to be able to do that. And that's not something you can say about every single country. I think in hindsight, if we'd known like how easy it was to hire and how easy it was to ride as well, I think we would have hired our own one, because it was a little bit of a pain when you are like trying to go back to your villa to have to walk down the path. Now, down this path there was other little paths leading to different villas and to like villagers' houses and like very local restaurants. And we really felt like we were in a whole different world here, completely not comparable to anything else. Maybe comparable to Pakistan, like in the village, but a little bit more like built up. I liked it during the day. I had no problem with that during the day, but at night it was quite scary walking down that path. There was like stray dogs out as well, and lots of like cricket sounds and that sort of thing. And I just thought like, oh my gosh, at any point now, like a snake could just come out and bite us. I didn't even know if there were snakes there, but you know, you just don't feel 100% safe. So we asked some people to like drop us off sometimes on their mopeds, and like I would like give them a bit of a tip. With the villa in Ubud, we just arrived at our 2nd villa in Ubud. It is absolutely pouring it down with rain, but you know what, it's quite nice because it was so hot and steamy in the forest. It's lovely. And here's our room. Oh, the flowers. Lovely, thank you. I love this villa, especially because when you woke up, so the bed had like a canopy on it, and then when you woke up, like the sun would come shining into the room, and one of the walls is basically like a conservatory. It's like a sliding door, and then the pool was like your first thing you see in the morning. It was so surreal and so beautiful. So like waking up to that view every morning was like just like literally, like, I know I keep saying this, but it was like being in a whole different world. It was amazing. But the problem with this villa, and like I said, the problem with Ubud, is that if you are going to go to Ubud, you have to know that you are going to come across a lot more critters and bugs and creepy crawlies. We did spend time in that pool. However, there was one point where there was like a little lizard like this, and it came really near to the water, and I was like, it's fine, it's a little lizard. But I had my back turned, and Wakara told me when we got back to England, he was like, there was a lizard this big, like right behind you. But I didn't want to say anything because I knew you would like start panicking and freaking out in the water. But it was huge, and it came right near the water. And I had seen like quite large lizards, because in this villa as well they had an open shower, which like loads of people, if you watch videos on YouTube about Bali, are like, oh, you have to experience like having an open shower and stuff. It's all very well having a shower outdoors in the nature until you see like these like creatures and stuff all around you, and you're trying to shower and mind your own business, and then there's like bugs and stuff. Like, no. And the problem with an open shower as well is that our bathrooms in this villa, there's two rooms, but the bathrooms both had like a bit of a square in the ceiling that was open, so there was no protection. So like bugs, lizards, all sorts could just come crawling in, and that was horrible. Like, we really did not enjoy that element of it. So yeah, just be aware of that. I have kind of lost the question that I was on, but that was our experience with the accommodation. And then the final place we stayed in was the Bubble Hotel, and I filmed a whole story time about that, which should have already been up, so I'm not even going to go into that. You guys need to watch the story time to know how that went down. Someone said, what things are worth spending more on? Food, hotels, excursions, or flights? Again, it's so subjective and personal to you guys as a couple. For us, food definitely was like something that was a priority to us. We knew if we were eating well, we would be in good moods. We're both well, I'm not as much of a foodie, but I do love my food. And Wakara is definitely a foodie. So yeah, food is important to us. Hotels, not really. Like, we definitely wanted villas in Bali, but we didn't have a hotel in Dubai, and then we were fine with that. Excursions, that's a good one. So we spent money on doing things. So we spent money on going to the rice fields and having a go on the rice swings, those huge swings that are just amazing. And also going to the water park. That was really fun. I'm so glad we went to do that. It was such a good experience. And we also spent not a lot of money, but we did get a couple of massages each. Wakar especially got a lot of massages for his back. And in Bali, if you're going to go to Bali, you have to know that they are amazing at massages. They're so good. I had a head massage and like a facial done, and that was so relaxing and so like, it's so calming, and the prices are insane, guys. Like, that it's literally like maybe a sixth or a seventh of the price that you would have to pay in the UK. And I'm talking about like a non-branded like facial or massage, you know, not from like some luxury brand. So it was very common for people like on holiday to get a massage every day. The thing with the massages was that you spend like most of the day like outside and like exploring and like shopping and taking in the beautiful culture, and then you'd be able to just relax into having a night of massage, exploring and relaxing. It would really help you get that balance. Someone said, talk a bit about budgeting whilst enjoying or having a great time, please. Yeah, it's a good point. I think you have to be realistic with your budget, and you have to research first wherever you're going. Like I said, like Bali, like the food, super affordable. Even McDonald's, like a whole meal was like £3, and whereas here, like a whole meal is like £6, £7, £8, I think. I don't really eat McDonald's that often here. Like, I'll get like a caramel frappe, but I won't really have the meals. The food there is a lot cheaper. However, the restaurants there are not always. So a local restaurant, that could be quite affordable. However, the restaurants that are like quite niche. So we went for a date night one day to like an Arab restaurant, and we were shocked at how much it ended up being, because it was almost more expensive than we'd have paid here for that same restaurant. So just be aware of that. Like, do your research. The more research you do, the more prepared you are, the more like easy it will be with money. But yeah, definitely budget, definitely be like, for me, I was so shocked at how quickly money was going in Dubai, because we thought we were being quite good at budgeting, like by, you know, using the metro and not always getting taxis, but the taxi fares that we did get added up. On top of that, the food can get really expensive, and then you're also feeling really hot, so you want to like be buying drinks and stuff. And that's the same with Bali as well, actually. Like, we did end up buying a lot of water there and a lot of cold drinks, because it was very humid and muggy, and we wanted to keep hydrated as well. So definitely budget more, I would say, for food than you're expecting, and also then research the things that you want to do. Like, we went to Monkey Forest, we kind of had a rough idea of the price of that. What we also did in Bali, by the way, is we ended up most days, not every day, but most days, we ended up having a taxi driver for the whole day. We had quite a few different taxi drivers, but the guy in Ubud, he was amazing. He was so good, and he stayed with us for like 2 or 3 days, and Iqra just paid him like a fixed rate for the day, and whenever we like needed him to pick us up, he would be there. And then he actually ended up dropping us all the way down. So we were in Samniat, then we were in Ubud, and then he drove us all the way down the island to where the Bubble Hotel was, where the beach is and where we did the water sports and stuff. So yeah, he also had in mind that he wanted to do water sports, and I knew that I didn't want to do that. So we did budget pretty well, I would say. Like, there was no point where we ran out of money, but you have to do your research for that. Obviously, every country is going to be different. I'm saying this with my experience in mind. If we went to somewhere in Europe, it would be very different. Every country has its own costs and prices, and the nice thing about the internet is that so many people are willing to share their experiences and share like information, so you can definitely budget that beforehand. How did you decide how long to spend in each spot or country? Again, that's another good question. We knew that we didn't want to spend too long in Dubai, because we knew that we would be coming back, inshallah, for sure. And also the main part of the honeymoon for both of us was Indonesia, Bali, like that brand new destination, like so exotic and unknown. But we also knew that we didn't want to just not have a stopover in Dubai. So we spent 2 days, we thought was a reasonable amount of time. And then the 6 nights in Bali was definitely enough. At first, when I started realizing like how much of the Easter holidays we had left, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going so far, why don't we go for longer? But after the bubble experience and just in general being exhausted, I think from the whole experience, we was just really ready to come back home and come back to our normal climate and just sort of come back to familiarity and normality. So for us, that was enough time. It worked out to be about 10 days, including travel time as well. So yeah, it depends. But for example, like if we did like an Europe honeymoon, we would have done different countries for like 2 or 3 days each, so we could really see the countries and appreciate them. It's another thing where you can research and see what other people have done and what they recommend. Some people will go to Bali for weeks at a time, some people will go for a short amount of time. It just depends, so just do your research, I would say. Did you go for a luxury honeymoon or cover lots of different places? Definitely the latter. We didn't cover loads of different places. We went to 3 different spots within Bali, but we also went to Dubai obviously as well, and I think it was a really good amount of time that we spent in each place. And we both realised like we really would not have enjoyed a holiday where we were just sitting on the beach for days upon end. Like, we both are not those kind of people, and we kind of had to experience going to the beach and spending some time there to realise that. Like, don't get me wrong, like I like the beach, but for our honeymoon we knew we wanted a bit of a mix, so that's kind of how we went and planned it. Websites used for flights and hotels. Good question. So we use Skyscanner for our flights, which is like the best website ever in terms of getting the best deals for your money. And then we also use Airbnb for Dubai. So we literally booked through Airbnb. And we also then for the villas we use booking.com. So we use booking.com to find the villas, and I also use TripAdvisor to find the villas as well, because I think it's such a good site to get a real good idea of the pictures of villas and the kind of, you know, people that are hosting you as well, which is very important when you're going so far away. You want to know that other people have had a positive experience there. And then we contacted them maybe about 2 or 3 weeks before. Actually, I was quite surprised at how late we had left the booking of the villas for Bali, and I was like freaking out. But it's up to you guys, like what if you're choosing to go there. But the way that Iqra did it was that he said the longer you wait, the more the time will go down if there's availability. After checking out the different kinds of villas for a couple of weeks, he realised that the amount of villas there are is huge. Like, there's not a shortage of villas. So he was quite confident in thinking that he would get a really good deal if he waited for some time. If it had been me, honestly, like if I had been in charge of booking it, I would have literally like sat down, looked at a few villas over a week and then booked them a good month in advance. But he did it his way and it worked out for us. Alhamdulillah, it worked out. So yeah, if you're brave and you want to risk like potentially not getting a villa that you really, really like, then you can do that and you will save money. However, I will say that like the villas are pretty affordable anyway. I mean, I think we probably saved, I don't know, like £15–20 a day by waiting. So it is worth it in the long run. Like if you're staying for a week, then that's a good chunk of money that you can spend on food or shopping. But yeah, it wasn't like a huge amount of money either, so it's really up to you. Like if you find like the perfect place and you know that it's really popular and you can tell by the reviews and TripAdvisor that it's super popular, then it's probably a better idea to just book and rather than wait. Someone said, can you detail how much you spent on your accommodation, activities, etc.? I think I've kind of said this already. Like the accommodation was affordable across the board. Like for Dubai it was affordable because it was an Airbnb. And you know, there's no like extras attached with that, there's no breakfast attached with that or anything like that. It's just towels and a room really. So that was pretty affordable. And then with Bali, again, there's no like super extras, but there was no breakfast attached to it. There was nothing too extravagant or luxurious. It was just the fact that we had our own villa and our own pool. But because of the place that they're in and because there's so many different villas to choose from, they have to keep rates pretty low to be competitive and to get people to come and stay with them. So yeah, across the board, like the accommodation was pretty affordable. Flights were quite expensive. I will leave the price of the flights on the screen somewhere here. Like I said, that was kind of like the biggest expense. Once we paid that off, we were like, oh phew, like that's like a big chunk of money gone. But it's a manageable honeymoon if you've got a smaller budget, I would say. But obviously if you've got a bigger budget, you can also go all out as well. However, it's down to you and your priorities. It just depends. Like maybe for like some of you guys, you might think, oh, I'm only going to this country once, so I want to do every single thing that there is. So you'd have to like accommodate a larger budget for your activities and things you want to do. With us, we decided to try and do it in Bali like 1 to 2 key things a day and then leave the rest of the day and see how it would go. And I'm so glad we did that and we didn't overpack, because like I said, and I keep saying, it's really important to keep that balance between exploring and then also relaxing. So I'm not going to go into that in too much detail, because you would have seen in the vlogs like what we did and kind of how much we packed into each day. That was it basically. Alhamdulillah, like the accommodation was like affordable and so were the activities, to be fair. Like for example, in Bali we went to a water park called Water Bomb, which is like the best water park in Asia. And Iqra's been to the water park in Dubai before and he said that it's actually like better than the one in Dubai, which is insane because he loved the one in Dubai. He kept talking about it when we were planning this thing. And the water park, I will leave this price on the screen again, but it was such an affordable price and it was like a ticket for the whole day, and they had the same like water rides, if not better, than they would have in any other kind of, you know, generic park. So actually like activities are cheaper, but you can also shop around a bit. So when we went to Ubud, one of the most famous things you can do there is go to rice fields and have that whole experience of like touring around a rice field and going on a Bali swing and tasting the different teas and coffees. And you can go to the most popular one, or the most well-known one, and pay like £35 each for a ride in the swing, or you can do a bit of research and pay a more affordable price. Just do your research. I would say don't just go for like the cheapest just because it is the cheapest. Like, make sure you've read reviews as well, because at the end of the day, like with things like that as well, like there's always that safety hazard concern that could happen, you know, you just don't know. I was like really scared when we were there because it was so high up. Like, even though swings are really fun, it was so high up, and you just think like, what if, because it's like basically the swings are like attached to trees, like actual trees, so you just think like, what if something happens, what if like it just breaks, like there's a freak accident, I don't know. Too much Final Destination. But yeah, you just be sensible, do your research, but there's definitely ways that you can save money and like shop around. And then also like things like shopping. So I knew that in Dubai I didn't want to do any shopping. I knew I wanted to check out Sephora, and I had like between £50 to £100 budget for myself of if I wanted to spend money in Sephora I would, and it was horrendously overpriced. Like, I was so shocked at how much more expensive Huda Beauty products are in Dubai than they are in the UK. So I didn't buy anything from Sephora at all. And then with Indonesia, like the Sephora prices were pretty much similar to the UK prices. So again, I didn't buy any makeup or skincare, that sort of thing. I did want to find like a Korean makeup skincare shop, but I just couldn't. Like, there wasn't any that really stood out, or any that were really obvious. And then in terms of shopping for like souvenirs and gifts and things, because it was our honeymoon, we did decide to get everyone in our families a gift, and just something small. And then I knew as well, based on research, that I wanted to buy myself some bags and perhaps some clothes as well, and that sort of thing, which you might have already seen a haul that I've done. Just do your research and have an idea, but always keep like an extra £50 to £100 if you can spare, like just in case you decide that you see something and you really want to buy it. But I think personally, like we got the right amount of things. We did get quite a lot, to be fair, actually, and we got things that we know we're going to keep in our forever home, inshallah. Like, we got a really cute little chessboard set with little models that are like Indonesian figures, which are really cool. And I of course got like a couple of giraffes from Dubai and from Indonesia. And yeah, we just got things that, and oh, we've got some beautiful dream catchers and things. So I knew that the markets there sold these sort of things, so I had an idea of what I wanted to get. Because of that, I knew that I had a budget in my mind, so I had like a portion of my savings ready to take out and spend there. And that's another thing, by the way, the currency in Indonesia is mind-boggling. It's crazy. Like, you literally are millionaires, because I'll put the rate here, so like £1 is this much. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but it is insane. I found that really hard. I actually had to download an app to have to keep checking like what the prices meant and were, but usually you're getting pretty good discount as well, and obviously you can haggle as well. By the way, they expect you to haggle a lot in the markets. Like, they start off like at 5 times the price, and then they'll drop it down to like 2 times the price within like 30 seconds if you start walking away. So yeah, I mean, just be prepared, just do a bit of research, spend some time planning, and try and enjoy the planning process as well, because that's kind of what helps you get really excited about going there. And then when you are there, you're like, oh my gosh, I remember like looking at this on Google, or like watching someone's video on YouTube about this, and you know, it's even more surreal like once you've planned it, rather than going to a country completely blindly and not having any idea. So yeah, alhamdulillah, I think we were kind of organised in that aspect. And yeah, alhamdulillah, it was a beautiful honeymoon. I'm so happy that we went there. Like, I think a lot of our family was quite surprised that we're going somewhere so far as our honeymoon trip. And I know a lot of people either do like Maldives, or they'll do just like Dubai or Istanbul, which, oh my gosh, I love Istanbul and I cannot wait to go back again one day, inshallah. But I think if there's a place you really wanted to go, and you know that you're going to be spending your hard-earned money, you might as well try and book it and see what happens. It was meant to be, it will be. And traveling is one of the most amazing things you can do, guys. Honestly, like, you learn so much. You learn so much about each other, about yourself, about these countries that you've never ever had the opportunity to go to before, and the Indonesian people, the Balinese people, were just some of the loveliest people I have ever met in my whole life. I felt so happy there. The vibe is happiness there, which I can't say about any other country, to be honest. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It did feel like a whole world away from reality and normality, and now that we've got pictures and we've got vlogs, like I can always look back on it fondly and one day show our children, inshallah. So yeah, I'm so glad that we just bit the bullet and went, even though people were a bit dubious about it. But that's what I mean, you have to kind of just go for it. Like, life is too short to just stick to what you know all the time. Sometimes push yourself out of your comfort zone and yeah, go and explore. But I hope this video was helpful for you. I know it's a long one. It's definitely like at least half an hour long. If you have any other questions specific to Dubai or Bali, like our honeymoon, leave them down below and I will get back to you for sure. Take care of yourselves, guys, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.